Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of The World, a Chinese drama romance film from 2004 that was directed by Zhangke Jia. Now I have reviewed a few of Jia's movies on this channel previously, Platform from 2000 and Ash's Purest White from 2019. I think it's a good idea to explore a few more of his titles because he's one of the big-time art house directors to come out of China during the last quarter century. And some of his films are quite interesting, if you're into this kind of thing. The cool thing is that Jia is only about 50 years old, so he can hopefully squeeze out another 20 or so years in his career, hopefully. Now from the back of my DVD, the plot synopsis of The World is as follows. Jia casts a compassionate eye on the daily loves, friendships, and desperate dreams of the 20-somethings from China's remote provinces who come to live and work at Beijing's World Park, a bizarre cross-cultural pollination of Las Vegas and Epcot Center. World Park features lavish shows performed amid scaled-down replicas of the Taj Mahal, the Eiffel Tower, St. Mark's Square, the pyramids, and even the Twin Towers. Now our main protagonist is a woman named Tao, played by actress Zhao Tao, who has been in a bunch of Jia's movies. Now she works at this Beijing World Park as a performer, and she's currently dating a security guard at the park named Tai Sheng. The boyfriend is really trying to get her into bed, but she's not quite ready, and this is causing a bit of a strain on their relationship. And since this is kind of an ensemble film, there are a handful of other characters that get some attention. They come in and out of the story, but Tao is really our lead. Now back in the day, when I had my first marathon of Jia's movies, I considered The World to be his most, I guess you could say, purely entertaining film. And I think I still kind of agree with that assessment, because this theme park is a really neat place to set a movie. I mean, some of the sets are just gorgeous to look at. There's nice use of color, too. Even with an art house film such as this, the backdrops and replicas of, famous structures from around the world give the movie a lot of eye candy, you know what I mean? And it keeps you engaged. There are a few brief animated sequences which mix things up visually. I like those as well. Now, much of the film does consist of characters hanging out at this park, working at the park, but it's a bit more fun, so to speak, to watch than some of Jia's other films, which some viewers may think are a bit too dry. I don't think so in a lot of cases, but some people might. This one might engage the average viewer a little bit more. I think it might be a good starting point for viewers who are unfamiliar with his work, if only because it's probably, like I said, a bit less dry for the casual moviegoer. But with that said, it is still a pretty slow-paced art house film, so be prepared. But like most of Jia's films, there are some interesting themes present. I've read a few statements from the director online stating that the theme of idealism is present in this film, where this fake world, so to speak, the theme park that people are working at and going to, kind of distracts them from recognizing their problems in reality. And I think that's pretty interesting. And you see this manifest in the relationships between the characters throughout the film. Of course, I do see a bit of globalization and capitalism in this film as well, and those are common themes that are in almost all of Jia's films, so we should be used to that if you're a fan of him. I like the friendship that our protagonist has with one of the Russian performers who is having financial difficulties. They don't even speak a lick of each other's language, but there's a connection there. And I've actually experienced this sometimes when I travel on vacation. Even if there's a language barrier, you can still have some pretty interesting moments and fun moments. So it's always cool to experience that kind of thing in real life, and it's always cool when it's shown in a movie like it is here. And they have a few nice interactions throughout the film. The music in The World is very rhythmic and modern, which makes sense when you consider the setting, all right? Performances, solid all around. The acting is very realistic, typical Jia stuff. This is what you expect from his films. It makes it feel like a documentary in spots. Again, it's what you expect here. Zhao Tao is a good actress, but I feel like her popularity in the West is limited because most of her projects are Zhangke Jia films, which kind of have a niche fan base. Maybe she just doesn't want to make that transition to bigger, blockbuster-style films, or I don't know. Maybe she just enjoys working with Jia, and they are married in real life, so that probably makes sense. You just hang out, then go make a movie together. You know what I mean? And then hang out, do some other stuff. It's probably pretty nice, right? So I do enjoy and recommend The World. I do. Again, it's, a slower paced art house film, but it's a good one. And I do think, this is one of Jia's films that I will revisit on a fairly consistent basis just because of the, the environments, and it's just kind of interesting, right? In terms of availability, you may have to find a DVD floating around on the internet used. That's where I got mine. I got mine used for like $15-20 or something like that. The newer ones are going quite expensive, and a new Blu-ray, don't even ask me how much a new Blu-ray of this film costs, because it's ridiculous. So, maybe scour the internet if you really want to check it out. You might be able to find it streaming somewhere, but if you want a physical copy, you might have to get it on the cheap used. Yeah, check this one out if you think it's up your alley. And as always, I'll see you next time.